Hello, this is Stephen Paul with Fritzy Brothers, and I am here with Todd the Moogician.
The Moo Guy!
The Moo Guy.
The Moo Guy in town.
And this is my second year working with Todd at Southwest Florida and Lee County Fair. As he would say, you get two for the price of one.
There you go. It's the Southwest Florida Fair and the Lee County Fair, all squished together in one big, fluffy, lovable, kind of huggable fair.
Very nice. Very nice.
11 days.
As you saw some of the show already, I'm wondering how in the world do you get all of this stuff into one vehicle?
Yes, isn't that amazing? I call it Rubik's Loaded. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. There was a time once when I got everything in. I took a picture. Along the way, I'm taking pictures so I can remember. You know how it works. You figure it out. I don't have the pack flat play big. I have packs big, plays big.
Yes, you do. How long have you been a Moogician?
Moogician celebrated 6 years this last August of 2019. It debuted August 2013. It was conceived in 2012. It was born in August 2013, and so next August will be 7 years. 7 years old. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, you look good for 7.
Yes. We're looking forward for the Moogician's bar mitzvah.
Oh.
Yeah. Mazel tov. About give it another 7 years.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen a lot of different things that you do. I see the cow carrying the milk jug with you in it. I see the hat spinning around with the different animals on it. I see you with kids up on stage. What is the most enjoyable part of performing that you would
And you also see the stupid stuff. Yeah.
I haven't seen anything stupid.
Okay. Well, to be honest, doing audience participation was never something I really wanted to do, and I did it because people love it. I don't mind it. It kind of makes it easy for me. Although, as you know, sometimes you never know what you're getting when you call somebody to help you. You never know what's going to happen, which could be good, but sometimes not. My backstory, I just wanted to perform. I just wanted to get on stage and perform to the people. No one's going to be in the show. They're just going to be entertained. But coming into the world of fairs with all the children, creating audience participation is sort of just necessity. I don't know. It just works. It works, so I do it. I do enjoy it, but to answer your question, I just like making people laugh. I don't think I have one thing in my show that, okay, I'm glad I'm doing this part. I don't like the technical stuff because technically I'm not like the great magician or a great banjo picker or a great juggler. But if I can just make people laugh, and as you know, when you do comedy, that like covers every mistake. You could drop stuff like, hey, I'm a comedy act. I'm not trying to prove anything. So.
Well, as all 23 of my subscribers know, I love to interview people that...
After today, 24.
I love to interview people that love to do what they do for a living. One of the things that I've noticed with audience participation is when you can get your audience to feel like they're part of the show and they leave thinking, wow, I was part of the show. I mean, really, you're right. It's something that you don't really think about, but then you realize that the people are asking for it. They want to feel like they're part of the show.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's still new to me. 10 years ago, I was not doing audience participation, but now I am, and yeah, it's nice. It's nice, and especially with children, you want to empower them and make them feel, that they're special and they did a great job, and there is a good feeling from that. But.
Now, as far as doing a stage show compared to strolling, what would you rather do?
Stage show.
For all of you folks wondering, stage show. Stage show is something I like to do, but it almost seems like as strolling, I get to go where the people are. Stage show, you have to something has to go on, which I notice that you do very well. You're playing some banjo and you got some background music.
Making noise.
You're bringing them in, and that's
everyone's like, what's going on over here? And people looking attract other people. What are they looking at? And what are they looking at? What are they looking at? And next thing you know, you got a crowd of everyone's going, what are we looking at? My background is a stage performer. Everything you come up with is to be presented in a show. I understand what you're saying about strolling. When you do have a nice big crowd and you're engaging and you're connecting and you can tell that you see all the smiles and they're laughing and when you really feel like you're doing your job, it's very it's wonderful. It's wonderful, but sometimes you're like, okay, who do I? Well, I'm gonna go find those people there. It's like there's no one there, and you're running to two adults with a kid. And you're like, yeah, I'm gonna entertain you guys. No, we don't want to be entertained. I'm gonna do it. You're the only ones here. I gotta entertain you. No, don't look, Johnny. Don't look. He's a strange guy.
Is this what you planned on doing? What you're doing now? What did you plan on, and
That's
how
so
did it
funny because
go?
I walk around in the milk can and I look at people and I go, I thought I was gonna be a rock star. That was the original line. Then I was like, I was supposed to go into dentistry, and today I was going 8 years of USF. This all started with one beer. Okay.
Is that true?
There's 2 beers. I fell in love with Steve Martin in his comedy when he first came out, and I just wanted to be Steve Martin. I just loved everything he did. For me, at that age, he was just so different than any other comedian. I loved his he was like this naive, stupid kind of stuff, but it was so funny. In his case, very character driven, and everything about him I love. I wanted to be Steve Martin, and that's what I set out to be. And I remember even members of my family, what are your aspirations? And I said, well, just have a great act. And they're like, no, wrong answer. A lot of people have this preconceived notion that you go into comedy clubs and eventually move on to TV and movies and acting. I don't want to act. Not for me. I'm not an actor. There are lots of comedians that just do comedy, and you don't see them in TV movies. I just always wanted to have a great act and just perform live, and we're still working on that.
You mentioned Steve Martin. The last thing that I saw him in, it was in a magazine, and he was standing in the middle of the street, and there were hundreds of banana peels just all around him, and he was in the center of it.
That's great.
And he just had his look, and that was it. It was awesome.
One of my favorite Steve Martin bits that had a big influence on me on just the whole non sequitur style of comedy and just eclectic. He had a metal gas pump, just the metal part that you put into your vehicle. No tube, just the metal thing. And just out of the blue in the middle of the show, he would just pick it up and say, you see this? I got this for $5. And then he just put it down. Like he was so proud, like he's almost like showing off. I got this for $5. It is useless. And I got to see him live before he started doing movies back in the white suit days, the arrow through the head, the banjo days. Funny little people walking by. They're funny, they're little, and they're people. And then the dinosaur, I think the dinosaur wants to eat them, but he says they taste funny. They're funny, they're little, they're people. Here's the truth though. They're not people.
Oh no, they're not.
No, they're just funny and little. So Steve, I got to see him live. It was at Lincoln Center in New York City. I want to say 1977 or something, but he was still doing like Saturday Night Live and just, he was becoming very big, but before movies. And we're 13th row, and he always just used to say, you know, people say to me, Steve, how can you be so damn funny? So I'm waiting for my moment to shout that out. So it just like came over me, and at one point there was a lull, and I yelled out, Steve, how can you be so damn funny? And he was drinking a sip of water. That's right, he was drinking a sip of water when I said it. And all my friends are going, you talk to him, you talk to him. And he's up on stage going, huh, what? Don't you hate paying $20 for a ticket? And there's a guy on stage going, huh, what? It's true, it really happened. It really happened. So I did talk to him, but from the 13th row, and he had no idea. So.
There's, again, 24 now subscribers, and at least one of them's thinking, I want to use this guy. How are they going to get a hold of you, Todd?
Well, the name's Moogician, the middle name is Todd, and the last name's Con. Put them together, Moogician.com. Or, then there's toddcharles.net. That's the other site, toddcharles.net. See, my full name is really Todd Charles Steinberg, but the Steinberg is silent. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's the way it works. That's the way.
Now, one more thing. Tell the kids one hint of advice. They're growing up, they're thinking, oh gosh, what do I want to do?
Okay, well, a lot of people always ask me, want to talk to me about doing comedy. I encourage everyone to do comedy. I say, no matter what, do it. A lot of clubs have open mic nights. If you just want to do it, I say do it. You might want to think twice about pursuing a career because it's very up and downy, but it's very therapeutic to perform comedy. So I always tell people, you'll be better than you are. But just do it. You'll feel great. It's so therapeutic. You know, write down a bunch of things that, you know, you can, there's different styles, but you can write down 10 things that make you angry or bother you, just like, you know, it really bugs me, and just come up with stuff to talk about on stage. But if you want to do comedy, definitely do it. It's therapeutic, it's wonderful. If you want to go on stage and you want to do the type of comedy where you ask people questions, hey, what's your name? Where you from? What do you do? Just make sure you have an answer ready.
Nice.
Just make sure you have an answer. That's the best advice I could give you.
Stephen Paul with Fritzy Brothers and Todd Charles, other known as the Moogician. Click the like button, hit subscribe, and hit the bell too, so when a video comes up, you'll get notified. Thanks a lot. Todd, say goodbye.
One more thing.
Yes.
Since you're here on YouTube, go to Moogician and check out the music videos.
Please.
Please, all right.